Welcome to Postcards to the Universe with Melissa Caprio. Do you believe in magic? What if you were told that all you had to do was get a little creative and work a magic spell to bring anything you can imagine into your life? Here on Postcards to the Universe, we will share manifesting, tips, postcards, creativity, abundance, and prosperity. Here is your host, Melissa Caprio.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to Postcards to the Universe with Melissa, creating the life doing today. I hope that everybody is doing well. It's November 6th. It was the day after the election. So I do know that some people are very happy, and then some people are not very happy. So today I have Daniel Packard as my guest, and he's going to join me in just a few minutes. And really interesting, and it just kind of fell that way. Daniel actually is an expertise on dealing with anxiety. So there's a lot of people, I've talked to a lot of people today that are suffering anxiety, especially about the election. And we're not going to get into the politics of the election, but I do want to talk about the anxiety people are feeling, and then hopefully he can help us with that. So to my regulars, I just want to say thank you so much for being here with me each week. It means the world to me. And if you are new turning into my show, welcome. You're listening to us live. If you're listening on November 6th at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, if you like the show, you can always go into the archives. Om Times Radio puts all the shows up for replay, and you can see which guests I have, and there's a description on every show, and you can go back and listen to some old shows. I also take the show and put it up on postcards to the universe.com in the podcast section of the show, and you can listen to any shows there. A little bit about me: I'm an artist, a photographer, and I'm an author, and I have a book, and it's titled Postcards to the Universe: Harness the Universe's Power and Manifest Your Dreams. And I talk all about manifesting in the book and manifesting the life that we desire. And I take photographs of people's manifesting postcards, and I share their stories when what they put on their postcard shows up in their reality. There's 30 of those in my book, and you can find the book on Barnes and Noble or Amazon. And it's been so much fun doing it. And I've actually rephotographed all the postcards. I've shared those all over my social media, and I'm always asking people to send me a manifesting postcard. So if you're interested in sending one, please do so. You can reach out to me if you have any questions, but I do give you an idea of how to create one and where to send it on postcards to the universe.com. Okay, so let me get to my guest today, Daniel Packard. So he is a UC Berkeley mechanical engineer who, after spending 10 years and over $100,000 trying to improve his anxiety, low confidence, and procrastination, he saw that all the money and time got him was the ability to manage what he struggled with, but he was never truly free of it. And Daniel was trained in engineering school to solve complex problems. He started his own research technology to see if it was possible to reverse engineer a way for people to not only be permanently free of what holds them back, but have it be simple and easy to do and guaranteed to work. After 8 years working with 3,000 people on 5 continents and over $1 million of research and testing, Daniel and his team succeeded in reverse engineering an innovative process that allows their clients to be completely free of what holds them back as in little as 6 weeks with a 90% success rate. That's a great success rate. And speaking of results, because Daniel has benefited from the system he helped create for the last 10 years, he is 100% anxiety free and wakes up every morning not caring what people think of him and loving who he sees in the mirror. Welcome, Daniel. It's so wonderful to have you with me today.
Well, thank you so much for having me, Melissa. And as you were doing your beautiful, timely intro, and I thought, oh, it is the day after the election, and the work that we do, I really do feel is connected to sort of what the universe does want for us because we're allowing people to heal at the root cause to be less afraid. And the
Right.
fact that I have this innovative approach so that people can not only not manage their fear and anxiety and procrastination, but be free of it the day after an election where a good chunk of the country is freaking the F out. I don't know. I think, as we all know, the
Yeah.
universe has a good sense of humor. So, universe, I see you. Well played. And I'm here to share a way for people, again, not to manage anxiety. People already
Right.
have that. This is an
Right.
understanding of why people have the real reason that people have anxiety that's not their fault,
Mhm.
but also an understanding so they can be free of it, which not only makes you calmer, but allows you to be the
Yeah.
happiest person, then allows you to manifest, because when we're scared, it's
Right.
hard to manifest. But also,
Absolutely.
I want to give people listening hope because we need that right now. How's that
Oh
sound?
yeah. So it's actually whichever way it fell, the election fell, there was going to be a group of people that were going to have serious anxiety. And when I was, I mean, it just fell this way that you actually got picked this date to be on my show, right? And so I figured, well, yeah, because I mean, so many people are feeling like, especially if they are on the losing end and they wanted her to win and he's again president. They're freaking out, like you said, they're freaking the f out. So and you're saying it's not about us dealing with our anxiety, but it's about what, discovering where the anxiety comes from, because it comes from inside of our bodies, right? That's where we feel our anxiety. So why don't you share first your own personal story about how you shifted it for yourself?
Yeah. So what we discovered
Part of the
was, in
question.
fact, a discovery. And the reason it was a discovery is because I didn't know it. And what we do that's so special and valuable to people is our passion for results. I'm an engineer and I care about getting people permanent results, fast results, measurable results. And the reason I care about results is because growing up, my dad was a physicist and he sat me down one day when I was 10 and he said, anybody can have a theory or an idea, but you don't know if they know what they're talking about. It's the person that gets results that you should listen to. He said, results matter. And that idea always stuck with me, that results matter. And I guess I had a little bit of, inventor in me because as a kid, I would invent things. My dad he lent me his workshop, and I would go in there and, like Ferris Bueller and MacGyver, I would make little things and inventions until they worked and got results. And it's very satisfying when you do something and it gets results. So I go to engineering school to learn how to be sort of professionally trained, how to look at complex problems that seem unsolvable, build a prototype, but it never works in the beginning. Then you test it and you work on it until it gets results. And it's a certain mindset and it's a certain training how to get things that get consistent results. So the good news was, I was trained how to make a robot, that played ping pong, but I was insecure, anxious, low confidence, perfectionist, procrastinator. So I knew how to make robots work, but not life work. And, like your audience, I go looking for help. I go to therapists and spiritual teachers and personal development and downloading apps and meditating and praying. And I did so many things for years. And after 10 years, I had tips and tools and awareness, but Melissa, the stuff was never gone. I was still kind of anxious sometimes. I still cared what people thought of me. I was still procrastinating. I was still doing it all. And I just thought, I just kind of woke up one day and I just sort of said,
Okay.
oh my gosh, this $1 trillion, I call it the improvement industrial complex, they just don't get great results. It's nice, it's insights, but nobody's free of it. And I was in a lot of pain, and I knew a lot of people were
Mhm.
in a lot of pain. And so I started my own research company, Full Liberation Technology, to see, could we do this better? Could we engineer something that was simple, fast, it works for pretty much everyone, and it took 8 years. It took, as you said, $1 million in R&D. We work with 3,000 people all over the world, and after 8 years, we cracked the code. We basically understood a simple mechanical approach to people's common struggles and a system and an understanding so that you could basically be free of it in 6 weeks. And it works for 9 out of 10 people. And I was one of the first guinea pigs. I was an anxious, insecure, procrastinating, perfectionist, low confidence person. And now I'm just chill as a cucumber, I really don't care what people think of me. I can't procrastinate
That's
if I tried. I don't care if it's perfect or not. I'm like a kid finger painting every day. And most importantly, what we discovered is it's a system. So we can help other people and we're giving other people their lives back quickly. So if you're listening to this and you're thinking, I am tired of this, I'm tired of the anxiety, I'm tired of the perfectionism, I'm tired of this, I have band-aids, but you want a full life upgrade. I'm going to explain to you, A, why you still have these things, and B, understanding the root cause so you can be free of it. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Any
Did you hear
questions?
me? No, did you hear me? I said, yeah, that sounds
I think
great. No questions at all. I sound okay to you, right? Like you can hear me?
yeah. One
Oh,
of the benefits of having very little fear is I now live in Mexico in a very nice place, but sometimes the signal cuts out. So that's what that was.
oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, but go ahead. Yeah, please share.
All right. And I'm going to share a couple insights that'll really help your audience. One, not blame themselves, but two, understand what they're struggling with in a much more simple way. And as your audience listens to this, they're going to say, well, Daniel, that sounds great, but that's not going to work. Or that's too good to be true. Or maybe it works for others, but it won't work for me. So just to be clear, I'm going to share a bunch. But at the end, before I leave, I'm going to send your audience to get a free training so that they can experience some of our tools for free so they can experience this firsthand, because that's what builds trust and hope. So, first thing I'll say is when we went to go help people, we looked at the entire industry therapy, psychology, spirituality, and even
Mm-hmm.
religion. And we looked at all the strategies and the insights and the tools. And what we noticed is it wasn't simple. It was
Okay.
very confusing. You know,
Mm-hmm.
if you have
Yeah.
fear, is it in my mind? Is it my ego? Is it my mindset? Is it my past? Is it my vagus nerve? Am I praying too much? Am I not praying enough? Should I take a ice bucket challenge? Should I walk on fire? Like it was just there was so many concepts and none of them
Right.
seemed to get the job done. Have you kind of noticed that on some level?
Do I? Yes. Personally, when I'm in mine, yes, I'll ask those similar questions like, did I do this enough? Am I not doing this? Or should I be doing? It's usually the should haves. Mine is the should haves. I should have done this. I shouldn't do this. I should be thinking this way. I shouldn't. I do that to myself. I shouldn't myself.
Yeah. And you can
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't yourself all you want. And
Right.
even a dedicated seeker, learner, grower like
Mm-hmm.
yourself in your audience, you're never going to solve it. And I'm going to give you the two major reasons why, which therapists don't want you to know. The first
Okay.
thing is if you want to solve something, really get to the root of it. If you
Uh-huh.
look at other areas of life where you want to kind of overhaul something,
Right.
usually you don't just want one tool.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, whether it's a mechanic, a dentist, a doctor, a landscaper, what you'll notice is people who really get the job done, they have multiple tools that are optimized to work together.
Okay.
If you hire, and this is important, does that kind of make sense? If you go to a
Oh, yeah,
mechanic,
yeah. No,
they
that
don't have
makes
a
sense.
flamethrower.
Yeah, that makes sense. Mhm.
Yeah, they don't have a flamethrower. They don't have a shovel. They have wrenches. They have
Right.
screwdrivers. Everything's optimized to get one job done. Now, this
Mhm.
is important because when I went looking for help, I would go to one expert for one tool. Then I'd go to
Mhm.
another guru for another tool. Then I'd download another app for another tool. And it was all these individual tools. But can
Right.
you see that if you're just getting one tool at a time, you're never going to have everything you need in one place to get the job done? Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And there's another thing missing when we get help from people. So let's say, for instance, you had a friend and they
Mhm.
tasted a chocolate chip cookie and they wanted to
Uh-huh.
make a chocolate chip cookie
Uh-huh.
and they had everything they needed in one place. They had the bowl, they had the whisk, they had the flour, they had the oven, they had the eggs, sugar, everything they needed in one place. But
Okay.
they had no idea how to cook or bake. They had no
Right.
idea. Even though they have everything in one place, could they consistently make a good chocolate chip cookie?
Well, no, because they don't know how to do it. They don't know what they're doing, and they don't know how to do it.
Exactly. What they're lacking is instructions. Agreed?
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Instructions.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. So it makes total sense. Oh, if I want to get the job done, build an IKEA furniture, bake, even build a deck, you need all the tools and you need instructions. But when I went looking for help from the therapists, the psychologists, and the gurus, they would say things like, don't be in the ego so much. Here, breathe. Good luck.
Right.
Or this person would say, just change your mindset. Good luck. There wasn't precise daily steps. What do I do in what day, in what order, for what sequence, in what timing? And we realized that was a major reason that people weren't solving this is because they weren't set up for success. So if you're listening to this and you've had
Uh-huh.
anxiety and all these symptoms your whole life and you can't get rid of it, I'm telling you, it's not your fault. It's
Right.
that the experts didn't give you all the tools you needed and didn't give you instructions. And so that's why you keep saying, oh, I should have done this and I should have done that. And I
Yeah.
just want to let you know it's setting you up for failure. And so one of the things that people need that we offer
Mhm.
them is all
Mhm.
the tools in one place and the instructions so that it's really simple and really easy to heal the root cause, which I'll get to in a bit. But I wanted to bring that up because I want your audience to not beat themselves up so much and have a bit of hope that you weren't set up properly for success, and that's why you failed, not because you're broken and not that you can't be free of this. I just wanted to say that. I'll go on to where
Okay.
the fear is coming from, but first, do you have any
Yeah.
questions or thoughts?
No, I'm thinking exactly about what you're saying, and I'm curious, and I'm going to use what's going on right now as an example. So, there's a lot of people right now that are in very dark places of fear, right? Because of what's happening, and especially in the United States. Now, we have listeners from all over, and I know they're all watching the US, but especially if you're living in the United States. So if you're living in deep fear right now and your body is feeling the anxiety of it, right? Because you're going through the worst case scenarios and all this is going to happen or all this could happen and what you're telling me is or what I think you're telling me and you don't correct me if I'm wrong is it doesn't matter what's happening outside of us, it's how we handle what's going on inside of us, no matter what is going on outside of us. Is that correct?
Well, two things. Yes, that
Okay.
if whatever's going on for you, you don't have the tools and instructions to address it, no matter what approach you have is going to fail. And I'm just bringing that up
Right.
so your audience, it gives them some
Got
hope.
it.
The other
Yeah.
thing is 100%. It
Okay.
feels like, and we're
Mhm.
told that the reason we have the anxiety and the fear is what's going on in the outside world. We
Right.
helped a lot of people during COVID, and they reached out to us and they said, I have all this fear and anxiety because of COVID.
Right.
Now, it looks
Right.
like it, right? COVID was
Right.
scary for a lot of people, and you're
Of
feeling
course.
all this fear. Or you
Of
look out
course.
into the country, or just the challenges of being a parent, a business owner. Life can
Right.
be scary, and then you feel all this fear. And it
Right.
looks like it's the outside world.
Okay.
Here's the issue, though.
Okay.
The outside world can
Uh-huh.
create a little bit of stress in you. It's called the stress response.
Okay.
And if your finances are unstable or
Sure.
somebody you know is struggling, your body will feel pressure. You
Okay.
feel the pressure of life, and usually it should be about a 2 out of 10
Uh-huh.
and it should last the duration of the time of the thing, meaning when it's happening, you feel it.
Right.
However, a lot of people, especially teens, they're not
Mhm.
feeling 2 out of 10 fear and anxiety. They're
Yeah.
feeling 8, 9s, and 10s. And they don't just feel it in the moment, they can feel it for an hour, 2 hours the next day, 3 hours before. And
Yeah.
that is not about the outside world, that is about the inside world. And the metaphor I use to help people understand this is let's say you haven't taken
Mhm.
care of your teeth. If you
Right.
don't take care of your teeth are going to be fragile because you need like a root canal. They're inflamed.
Yes.
And it's because you haven't taken care of your teeth. Now, if you
Yeah.
bite into a carrot, in
Uh-huh.
healthy teeth, you should just feel the carrot. You'll feel the pressure of the carrot. But if
Right.
you bite into a carrot and you feel
Uh,
pain and you feel a spike, do you
right.
blame the carrot and say, oh my God, I have adult onset carrot pain disorder? Do you blame the
N-
carrot?
no. Not recently. No, I don't do that. That's funny though, the way
No.
you said that. No, oh my God. Okay. Yeah. No, of course not. No, you wouldn't blame the carrot. Right.
And why wouldn't you? You're feeling all this fear and pain. Why wouldn't you blame the carrot? What would you blame?
You would blame the not taking care of your teeth. So what I guess is that you're saying if you're having all
Exactly.
this fear and you don't have the right tools
to handle the anxiety and fear within you, you're going to look at the outside world to blame instead of having complete control over your own anxiety and fear. Right. Okay. Got it.
100%. If you don't know about root canals and fragile teeth and you bite into the carrot, it feels like it's the carrot. But of course, we
Right.
go, it's not the carrot. The carrot should put pressure, but pain, that's because we haven't taken care of something in the body and now it's fragile. So, how does this
Right.
relate to anxiety? The other big thing is to help understand this is that we discovered that we're told that fear and anxiety is a problem of the mind. We're
Right.
told change your mindset, change your
Right.
scarcity mindset, stop
Right.
your monkey mind and your thoughts. You're told
Okay.
to burn your ego. You're told people take medication, and it's called for some people mental health. It's got the word mental right in there, so
Right.
everybody thinks it's a problem of the mind, and that's where
Okay.
everybody's looking and trying to solve it. There's just one problem. We looked at the research and we said this whole mind theory, it's not working. It's been around 100 years, and anxiety's on the rise. So scientists in us says maybe it's not in the mind. And we discovered the mind is part of it, but fear and anxiety don't originate in the mind. They originate in the body and then spread to the mind. And
Okay.
your audience knows this and you know this. Have you noticed that when you feel calmer, usually your mind is a bit quieter, and when
Oh,
you
sure.
anxiety, usually your mind starts spinning.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Yeah, all the time.
that suggests that where do you think the root cause is, the body or the mind?
Well, I would say the
What do you think the root
mind.
cause is?
I would say the mind. I would say it's the monkey mind and the fearful thoughts that cause the body to start feeling the anxiety. But is that what it is?
So that's how it feels because you can.
Yeah,
It
that's how it
feels that
feels.
way because you can have
Yeah.
and you feel fear and it looks like it, and that's what the
Right.
therapists tell you. Oh, it's your mind. It's your mind.
Right.
Two things spreads to the mind because that's the way we're mechanically wired. Your body tells you what the body needs to stay alive. Then your mind senses the body, and then your mind kicks in and tries to solve it. If you feel hunger in the body first, then your
Right.
mind senses the hunger in the body and says, oh, we better go get food. You don't sit
Okay.
around and go, food, food, food. I'm thinking of food, I'm thinking of food, I'm thinking of food, and then you
No,
feel
of
hunger.
course. Yeah, of
So
course.
if you're in the jungle and you hear something in the bushes, you're going to feel fear in your body. Then your mind is going to say, oh, there's a threat. We need to solve the threat. The problem is there's a hidden thing to your audience that's making the body afraid, and nobody knows it. So everybody's body is feeling fear. Then the
Okay.
mind senses the fear and goes, uh-oh, there's a problem out of control, creating problems, which then gets you stuck in the cycle, which we call the spin cycle. But can you see that it's possible? Fear and anxiety doesn't start in the mind. It actually starts in the body and then spreads to the mind. Does that at least make sense?
I mean, it makes sense. I understand what you're saying to me in the way that it makes sense. I'm just trying to think about how that would work. Like, if I hear something that's fearful, like the state of our planet, you're telling me my body is feeling that first and then telling my mind, not my mind is hearing that, seeing that, responding to other people being upset, and then it goes into the body. But you're telling me it's my body first, right? Am I right in that?
It's a really great question. And because, so 100%. And this isn't just theory.
Okay.
This is a system that we developed. I
Okay.
used our tool system, and I went from anxious with PTSD, perfectionism, procrastination, which is all fear, and I've been chill as a cucumber for 10 years straight, just calm. I wake up every morning feeling calm and safe, and I didn't do a single thing in my mind. Now, here's the thing. They're connected, and there's a reflex. So the whole thing fires in like a tenth of a second. So it's
Okay.
hard to really know. But if you think about it, have you ever done breathing exercises?
Yeah. Yeah, I have. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So breathing in the body, you you calm the body down, the parasympathetic nervous system. And then have you ever noticed when your body's a bit calmer from the breathing, your mind tends to quiet a little bit?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm.
And that's because the fear starts in the body. Now, breathing exercise isn't permanent. It's temporary. It's a Band-Aid, but
Right.
still, it shows. Now, here's why this is important. Your audience has been going to the mind. They were sent to
Right.
the mind, mindset,
Mm-hmm.
analysis, awareness.
Of
And
course.
surprise, surprise, they still have it because it's the symptom. And I want to let your audience know that it's coming from the body. You didn't know that. So the
Right.
expert sent you to the wrong location, and that's why you haven't solved it. And so can you at least see? I know you can't fully believe me, and that's why I want people to download the free training because they'll feel that it's in their body. But can you
Okay.
at least see that if it's the root cause is the body, can you see why that's kind of a big breakthrough? Because if it's the actual root
Yes.
cause, can you see why
Yeah.
that's so
Oh,
helpful?
yeah.
Why?
Well, for sure. Because if your body is, if you can see that it's in the body for that 10th of a second first before it registers into the mind, then yeah, I can understand how that could be a breakthrough in how to handle, like you said, you don't let anything, you're cool. What did you say you do about yourself? You're cool as a cucumber. Is that
Chill
what
as
you
a
say?
cucumber,
Or chill
Melissa.
as a
Chill as a
cucumber.
cucumber.
No matter what is going on in the outside world, you still feel that
And
way.
I'm
You wake
telling you
up
this
that way.
because
Go
we had
ahead.
people understandably terrified during COVID
Of
because,
course, people were
of course,
dying.
so they come to us. They say, I'm anxious
Right.
because of COVID. Now, COVID, depending on who you are, will create some pressure on your system. But
Of
we
course.
knew from our research that that's just pressure. So I had a woman, an entrepreneur from Washington, Carrie. She came to us. She had anxiety and people pleasing.
Okay.
And she just said, I'm terrified. Everything's getting worse. It's COVID. I'm stuck at home. And I explained to her that's from the body. And she said, that kind of makes sense because all this analysis and mind stuff just never gets to the root of it. It's just a Band-Aid. So she went through it. And about 4 weeks in, she sent me a message and she said, you're right. It's the body. And she sent me a message. She said, I woke up for the first time since college feeling truly calm. And this was during COVID. She was the calmest she'd ever been during COVID because she was able to make her body calm and she could handle the pressure of COVID. So it's hard for your audience to wrap their heads around it. But a few of your
Yeah.
listeners will go, this makes a lot of sense. Now, here's the other reason it makes sense. Here's the other clue, the Scooby-Doo clue that's going to make this stupidly obvious.
Okay.
All right? So we go to the body. We start looking in the body as engineers. What's causing all this fear? What's causing all this fear?
Right.
Now, the
Right.
beauty of the body is it's simple. The body is kind of mechanical. You've got, the skeleton is mechanical. Your arteries are sort of mechanical. Your heart is just a bunch of plumbing. The body is much simpler than the mind. Nobody understands the mind. It's like a million
Yeah.
trillion synaptic pathways and neurons. But the body has systems in it. And we can understand certain systems in the body. So we said, is there a system in the body that's creating all this fear, that's maybe like the tooth, kind of fragile and out of whack? And once you ask the right question, if you're an engineer, you get the answer. So here's the quiz that'll reveal all. Are you ready,
Okay.
Melissa?
Yeah, but before you do, let's pause here because I don't want to interrupt you when we're in the middle of the quiz. This is important because we need this right now because I'm telling you, I'm feeling anxiety and I know a lot of my people are feeling anxiety. So we need this. All right. So stay tuned, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple minutes.
Conscious media for conscious minds. Om Times. Host your show on IOM FM, the radio network of Om Times Media, one of the more recognized brand names in the conscious community, and is backed by the extensive marketing reach of Om Times. Hosting a show on IOM FM immediately connects you with our extensive dedicated community.
My name is Victor Furman. Some call me The Voice. I've always been fascinated with human nature, spirituality, science, and the crossroads at which they meet. Join me Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern on Om Times Radio, and we'll explore these topics and so much more on Destination Unlimited.
Ascending Hearts is no ordinary dating site. but a spiritual dating site with a purpose to link you with your soulmate. We engineer the serendipity so you can trust that you will attune with someone that has the same matching vibration as you. Ascending Hearts, the conscious dating site for the spiritually aware. Try Ascending Hearts for free. ascendinghearts.com.
Hi, I'm Melissa Caprio from Postcards to the Universe, creating the life you crave. Do you believe in magic? What if I told you all you had to do was get a little creative and work a dream spell to bring anything you can imagine into your life? Well, guess what? I've got the spell for you. Postcards to the Universe, a global movement for manifestation, is a casting magical tool for you to use whenever you want. How does living in passion sound to you? Join me in my movement where you get to create in the magical playground. Let's think outside the box and do some playful conjuring. By casting out our desires with a manifesting postcard, we explore our hearts and allow the alchemy of our dreams to appear. And don't forget to tune in each week here on Om Times Radio with my show, Postcards to the Universe, creating the life you crave at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. I share tips on creativity, abundance, and prosperity, and you will be introduced to the coolest guests, trailblazers, mystics, and creatives who enrich our lives. Welcome back, and if you're just joining me, I'm speaking with Daniel Packard today, and we're talking about anxiety and fear that we hold in our body and how to deal with that. And Daniel's come up with a system. He's got a mechanical engineer background, a system that helps us deal with the anxiety in our bodies so we're not manifesting that. And I was saying right before the break that we really need this right now because, a lot of people are feeling some serious fear and anxiety right now. And you can feel it in your body and, and then it translates into the mind. And, we're telling ourselves worst case scenario stories, So let's talk to me about that quiz. Tell me about it.
Well, I appreciate, and you're very teachable. And what you said is simple but big. It starts in the body and spreads to the mind. And the reason it's important is because at least we're in the right place. And
Okay.
I'm going to tell your audience the place in the body that's creating the fear and anxiety and why it's doing it. And trust me, it's not your past, so you can't blame your parents. Sorry, I know
Okay.
it's fun, but it's not your parents' fault. And
Right.
It's not the other political party.
All right.
It's you, and I'm going to tell you why. But I just have to say something important before I proceed, which is this is great. This is understanding, but understanding doesn't help people, and I really care about helping people. And so I encourage everybody, if you want to learn more, just look up my name, Daniel Packard, and again, I'm going to give you this free training so you can feel this for yourself, and that's what matters most. You can go to my website. There's info. I'll mention at the end. But for right now, I want to show you again something super obvious sitting right under everybody's nose, literally, that sort of shows that fear and anxiety is starting in the body. Okay. So here's inner mechanics lesson number 2. Lesson number 1, fear and anxiety don't come from the mind. They come from the body. Inner mechanics lesson number 2 is so much of what people struggle with, whether it's anxiety, procrastination, perfectionism, people-pleasing, and low confidence. Those are not individual problems. Those are all individual symptoms of one thing, which is fear. It's not just anxiety, which is procrastination. You can call it procrastination, or you could say you have a fear of starting and finishing something.
Sure.
You could say you're a perfectionist, or you could say you're afraid to make a mistake. You could say you're a people pleaser, or you could say I'm afraid people won't like me, so I'm going to put everybody first. And you could say you have low confidence, or you could say you're just afraid to be your natural, true, authentic self. So can you see, to simplify things, that almost so many of the things that people struggle with are just symptoms of one thing, which is fear. Does that sort of make sense?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but we're not taught that. So if you have procrastination, you're getting all these symptom management tools because they never address the root cause, which is fear, which is what I'm going to show you how we're going to do now.
Okay.
First of all, pop quiz to you, Melissa, and your audience. What is the root cause of fear? Is it the other political party, B, your mind, or C, your body? What's the actual root cause of fear that you're learning about?
Well, before I spoke with you, I would say my mind about the other political party, but I have a feeling the answer is fear. I mean, is my body, and fear in my body is first
Yes.
because of what you're
And,
telling
and
me. Okay. Yeah.
yes, and I'm not just telling you this because I'm another white guy telling you some theory.
All
This
right.
is the theory that solved my fear and anxiety and helps us.
Okay.
And it's why we have 90% success rate, and it's why we only make people pay at the end when they get results. We're the only people in the world that back up our results like that. And it's because we're in the right location. So now the
Okay.
question is, where in the body? And this is so simple. It may make you laugh. Okay. Take out the word fear, take out the word anxiety, and instead swap out the word nervous. Okay? Let's just say the whole planet is exhibiting different symptoms of feeling nervous. Anxiety
Okay.
is just a lot of nervous.
Okay.
Okay? So, and we want to know where in the body is what's malfunctioning making everybody nervous. Is it A, the skeletal system, B, the dental system, or C, the nervous system? A, B, or C, Melissa, and to your audience?
I would say no, the nervous system. Yeah.
And why, very smart Melissa, gold stars to you, why would you say the nervous system is making everybody nervous? Why does that make sense?
Well, right, exactly. Well, it's in the word, isn't it? The nervous system is making everybody nervous. It's in the word.
It's freaking right in the name. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
For
Okay.
100 years, the mental health community has tried to solve this, and they get poor results. Anxiety is on the rise. Suicide's on the rise. Addiction's on the rise. Alcoholism-related death is on the rise. People are more afraid than others. And after 100 years of modern psychology, which, by the way, Freud was a chain-smoking cocaine addict, not great, and they're getting these horrible results, and there's a system in the body called the nervous system. The mental health community still says it's the mind. No, it's not, mental health, quote unquote, experts. You're
it's
in
the
the wrong
nervous
place. There's a system
system.
in the body that literally has the word nervous.
So then how do we...
Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, that's where you feel it. Anyway, when I have anxiety, I feel it right in my nervous system. I know exactly that because, if I'm rushing because I have a deadline and I have feeling that, oh, I got to get this done. And and I have all this anxiety about it. Yeah, I feel it right in my nervous system. It makes me hyper. I'm doing this. I'm here. I'm not concentrating. I'm running on adrenaline. So I can feel it in my nervous system. So now that we know that, what do we do to calm the nervous system? Because there's got to be an
I'll kind of
answer.
tell you, but this is an important concept because it explains why the improvement industrial complex takes $1 trillion a year and never solves anything. Because when you, let's say, have low confidence, what we saw is that's just fear. That's your fear because an out of whack nervous system. But of course, I spent 15 grand on confidence training and I lacked confidence and and I was just at the symptom level and I never solved it. So your audience, the anxiety, all that, it's misnamed. All of it is just your nervous system is out of whack. And here's why. If your nervous system is healthy, your nervous system is your body's natural threat response system. It detects threats. If the nervous system is healthy, you feel a beautiful word, which is safe. If, however, the nervous system is malfunctioning, it's not solid, it's fragile like your tooth, then you will start to feel unsafe. And when you feel unsafe, you feel fear and anxiety, and then it leads to procrastination, people-pleasing, perfectionism, and low confidence. So to your audience out there, and you, Melissa, can you sort of see that we don't have all these problems? You have a malfunctioning nervous system that's creating this feeling of unsafety. And then from that place of unsafety, you have all these symptoms. Does that make sense?
That does make sense. But now my question to you is, what if you are unsafe? What if you are living in a society now that is unsafe for you to express who you are or who you love? Or what if you live in a war-torn country and bombs are going off outside your door? You aren't safe, right? Physically safe. So how does that apply knowing that it's our nervous system at work here?
So it's a good question. First of all, most people, when they feel unsafe, they're not unsafe. Barring
Right.
actual physical threats,
Yes.
you are
Yes.
safe. You may
Okay.
feel a little worried, concerned.
Right.
You may
Okay.
not like the way people are treating you, but that is not a tiger in the room. But I
Got
have
it.
clients that come to me and they're sitting trying to Netflix and chill, and it feels like there's a tiger in the room. Or
Got
if
it.
you've ever have low confidence and you have a fear of public speaking, it feels like you're going to die. Nobody has ever
Okay.
died from a bad speech. You'd like to
Right.
give a good speech. So 99% of this fear and anxiety that people feel, you're not
It's
actually being
right.
threatened, and
Right.
it's
Yeah, that makes
self-created.
sense.
You
It's
should feel a little
self-created.
fear or worry or concern. That's the pressure. But if you're
Okay.
going up to, oh God, this is really scary, that's not the outside world. Now, if your
Okay.
life is actually threatened, truly, then
Right.
yes, you would
Right.
naturally and healthily have that fight or flight.
Right.
That said,
Okay.
I have a gentleman who came to me for anxiety and perfectionism. He's an American, and he moved to the Ukraine, and he's near the front lines of the Ukraine, working in a
wow.
nonprofit. So we were having a coaching call, and their air raids were going off.
Oh my
So
God.
if anyone's allowed to feel threatened, and he said, Daniel, it's incredible. He said, not only is my anxiety practically gone, even though I'm in a war zone, he said, but when the air sirens go off, yeah, I feel something. It's like a 3 out of 10, but it's not, it would normally be a 9 out of 10. I'd be having a panic attack. So even there,
Right.
if your nervous system is solid and strong, it can even handle life-threatening situations better.
Okay, that makes sense. So then how do we feel safe? How do we make our nervous systems, like you said, 90%, 95% of us are not in immediate threat and danger. So how do we calm the nervous system and feel safe?
So I'll tell you the perceptual framework, but the actual how, and this goes back to what I said, it's the system we developed. It's
Okay.
all the tools in one place and the instructions. It's not a quick, you can't just meditate it
of
away. If
course.
you need a root canal,
Yeah.
you can't just do it. You go to an expert that has all the tools and the understanding. That's what the program is. Everything in one place, and by the end, your nervous system is healthy, and you feel a feeling which is really beautiful. I feel it every day. You wake
Okay.
up every morning, and you just feel grounded, safe. If you woke up every morning, just your default, Melissa, and your audience member, if you just woke up and your default was safe and grounded, how much better would your life be?
Much better. And truthfully, I was feeling safe and grounded until yesterday. I mean, I'm being 100% honest. I don't hide who I am, but truthfully, I don't feel grounded or safe right now in what's going on. I don't. And so now I need to figure out how to get back to that with my nervous system to feel safe and grounded again, no matter
Well, I
what's
hear
going
what you're
on.
saying, that you were calm. If you were calm, and then this thing happened, and you feel and it looks
Yep.
like that thing is causing it. But
Yep.
think about it like this: let's say you have a
Okay.
tooth, and you need and you don't need a full root canal, but you're starting to have problems in your tooth, and you bite into let's say a bit of steak, and your teeth are fine, and then you have a bit of ice cream, your teeth are fine. But if you put enough pressure on a fragile tooth and you bite into a jawbreaker, you will
Right.
feel pain if you push
Right.
it too much. So I know it still feels like you were calm, but trust me, your nervous system was a little fragile. It could handle most things in your life, but when it gets
Okay.
really pressured, it can't handle the load and you feel all this fear. And I know that because I have people going through this program right now. And I got a message from one of them this morning because we were testing it. I said, let me know how you go, whether your party wins or loses. Their party lost. And they said, of course, I'm a little concerned. But honestly, they said, I'd be having a panic attack right now if I didn't have these tools to stabilize my nervous system. So, but
Well,
just,
that's good to know. Because that's why, like I said, I think
Yeah.
it's important that you're talking about this today because there are a lot of people who are panicking right now. And I know from conversations
and if you
with,
think it's the outside world, you're always going to say, oh, it's the election. If you think
Right.
it's the carrot, oh, it's the carrot, oh, it's the food, you're in the wrong place and you never understand how to heal it And that's the
Okay.
problem with a lot of modalities is they tell you, they say, I had a therapist that said,
Mm-hmm.
anxiety is on the rise because of teens.
Right.
Anxiety is on the rise in teens because of social media. Now, it
Mm-hmm.
looks true. However,
Right.
I had a client go through our program who was anxious. She had an anxious child, and she said, it's heartbreaking to watch my child go through this. So this
Right.
client went through our process, and about week 4, they said, I am so grateful. And I said, why? She said, not only is my anxiety down by about 80%, but more importantly, my teenager came home and I asked my teenager, how's your day? And the teenager said, I got bullied online on social media. And my client
Mm-hmm.
turned to her child and said, how do you feel? And the teenager said, well, I don't like it, but I don't know. It just didn't affect me as much. And the parent
Mm.
said, well, why? And the teenager said, because I've been watching what you've been doing at home, and I started using the tools on me, and I'm calm.
Interesting. Yeah, all right.
It's
So this
not
is
the
a
outside.
it's that's a perfect segue. So talk a little bit about what the program looks like so that people know people who are interested are going, yeah, my freaking nervous system is totally out of whack, right? I'm all over the place. I need help. So what would be what does the program working with you? Is it a one-on-one? Do you work in groups? Is it through weeks, months? Like how do you like to do your program?
I'll give you the basics just so your
Okay.
audience knows what it is. So they don't think,
Okay.
do I, you know, lick a psychedelic frog? Do I have to dance naked under the moonlight? Like I'll tell
Right.
you how it
Okay.
works. But more importantly, to get people to work with us, people are so skeptical that we always say it's not about the program. First, at the end, I'm going to give your audience an offer to download this
Mm.
free training called From Band-Aids to Upgrades,
Okay.
where we're going to teach them one of our tools, and you will feel yourself calmer. And then also you get a free coaching call with me after.
Oh,
That's the
okay.
best thing for them to do. When they feel that, and
Okay.
it's going to give them hope of, oh my, I had a client last week just go through the 90 minutes and
Mm-hmm.
training, and she said, I haven't felt that level of calm since I was a kid. And when
Hmm.
people feel it working, then they get curious about the program.
Sure.
Now, the
Of
basics of the
course.
program, it's 6 weeks. Everything's
Okay.
online. We wanted to make it
Okay.
simple and affordable, so everything's online. And each day,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
you have some exercises that you do for 5 minutes a day, about 3 times a day. So you're doing little exercises. It's built like an
Okay.
inner gym,
Okay.
and you have all the tools and simple instructions that if you follow these steps, you get the results. Just like if you go to the gym and you do reps, you'll gain muscle and you'll be stronger. If you
Mm-hmm.
follow our inner reps, your nervous system becomes strong and healthy. That's the
Okay.
basics. But again, it's best that people
Yeah.
experience this firsthand because people are so skeptical. And we say, you know what? We believe in our results. So try this 90-minute free training from Band-Aids to
Okay.
Upgrades and get a result that you can feel. It's not going to completely bring your nervous system back to health, but you'll have an experience that you can go, oh my God, Daniel wasn't kidding. This is
So
real.
yeah,
And
so
it
you can
gives
feel
people
it.
hope. And then if
Yeah.
you're curious and you want to work with more, great. But this information in this training, Melissa, it's what I wish I knew before I spent
Mm-hmm.
$100,000. It's what I wish every human being knew to live a
Mm-hmm.
calmer, more open-hearted, more confident life, and also know how to raise children that are calm and confident. Therapists don't teach it, spiritual teachers don't teach it, religion doesn't
Mm-hmm.
teach it, and it's what I want people to know. And it's totally for free, and it's my gift to the world because I want the world to know this.
Well, the world needs it. So people can find it on your website, which is danielpackard.com, right? That's where people can go to and look at and download the free program just to get an experience of it.
Exactly. It's for people that have struggled with what we call the funky five: anxiety, procrastination, people pleasing, perfectionism, low confidence.
Yeah.
And you've tried things and it's better, but you want to be free of it so that you can be a
Mm-hmm.
happier person, make more money, be a better parent, be a better spouse, and you just want to manifest like a mofo because now without
Yeah.
fear, your heart is much more open. If that's you, yeah, you go to
Mm-hmm.
danielpackard.com and you'll see at the
Yeah.
top, you're going to book a free coaching call with me. When you book
Okay.
that free coaching call, I'm then going to send you
Okay.
this video training, 90 minutes.
Oh,
It's
okay.
called From Band-Aids to Upgrades. Then
Oh,
you're going to
okay.
listen to that 90-minute training. You're going to learn a ton about yourself, where your fear and anxiety is coming from. Then you're going to apply one of our techniques, and you will feel measurably up to 80% calmer just for that 90-minute training. And then on that free call that you booked, you get a free coaching call where when I hear what your experience with the 90-minute training, I'll then give you some refinements specifically for you so you can get even more benefits in more areas of your life. So that's my gift
Yeah.
to the world, and you can get all of that at danielpackard.com.
Oh, no, I love that. And I think I'm going to be calling you after the show. And we're going to set something up because my nervous system right now is nervous. Let me just put it to you that way. It's nervous. I'm feeling it. And I know, like, everything is a shock. It was a surprise. We got hit like last minute, just waking up and dealing with everything. So a lot of information is coming in, but you're right. It's affecting my nervous system, which has got my anxiety levels up very, very high, which is putting my mind in fear, which I don't want to be in, right? I'm in fear, fearful thoughts. So I feel like it's important to learn what it is that you have discovered that works, because you've discovered something that works. It works for you, and you said you have a 90% success rate, which is really good, actually. I mean, that's a really good success rate working with clients. And you've worked with how many clients did you say? Over like 5,000 or something?
We worked with 3,000. Not only do we have that track record, again, just in case people missed it, there's a million therapists and coaches in the world. We're the only company in the world that you pay at the end when you get the results. And the only reason we can
Right.
have that guarantee is because we get results. And if people say, well, how do you know? You measure it with our app. You know if you've gotten results. Because I'm an engineer. Results matter, Melissa. And even if
Yeah.
it's just to survive the next 4 years or 4 lifetimes,
Right.
your audience that is struggling right now, whether it's the election or just life,
Or it's
you
just
don't
life,
have
right?
to live with fear and anxiety. I had a client just recently who went through the hurricane in Houston, and she said it was creepy. Everybody else was terrified. She says, I was worried, but I was calm. So you don't have to live through what you're living through right now in fear. You can be calm in all this so that you can show up more for yourself and the people that you care about. It's not the election, it's your nervous system. That's my new bumper
Right.
sticker.
Right. Well, like you said, if you're in I mean, life comes at you, and we're always going to there's always challenges, and there's always things, there's always storms, right? So it sounds like what you're teaching and offering people is how to calmly get through the storm, whatever the storm is in your life. It could be a divorce, it could be a move, a loss of a job, the election, an actual hurricane. But whatever that storm is for you, you're showing us how to keep our nervous systems calm. And that's super, super important right now. So you've been, how long ago did you discover this for yourself? 10 years ago, you said?
Yeah, we founded the company 10 years ago when I was in a lot of pain with the anxiety and the low confidence. And it took about 3.5 years to get the theory down and figure all this out.
Okay.
And then about another 2 years to systematize it, meaning it was creating the tools and the instructions in one place and all the testing, working with thousands of people to test it, to make sure, does this thing work? Because we don't want
Right.
people to try it and fail. When people
Right.
try things and fail, they feel broken and more trapped. And I said,
Right.
I'm only going to bring something to the world that I know if people work the steps, they'll get the result. And so it's really important to us that we tested this. And the whole process of research, analysis, testing, and refinement to get the program, the 6-week program where it is now, was a
Yeah.
total of 8. And it's important that people know that,
Yeah.
because they'll think, oh, this is, did this guy just come up with this on a mountaintop, while eating Cheetos?
Yeah.
No. Like the beauty of
Yeah.
engineers is we're problem solvers. We're innovators.
Yeah,
Therapists
you're
and
innovators.
spiritual teachers and gurus, they teach things. It's helpful, but they're not devoted, innovative problem solvers. That's why we were able to figure this out, is because we really cared and we wanted to get to the root cause. So I'm done
Yeah.
talking because I can go on forever. I'm very passionate about this. But look, no matter what
No,
you
I
said,
love it. Well, tell people how
well,
the best way to connect with you and find you and if they want to talk to you, tell them the best way.
it's what I said. Again, everything I've said, probably people think, oh, that makes sense. But you need to feel it for yourself. So go to danielpackard.com. You'll see it's real clear. You book a free call with me. And then once you
Okay.
book that free call, I'll send you the 90-minute training from Band-Aids to Upgrades where you will learn a ton and you'll learn one of our techniques so you can feel it for yourself. And it's going to give you hope and a ton of insight and possibility of how good life could be. And then we'll have our free coaching call. And when I understand your experience with our tools, I'm going to give your audience free coaching to use the tools even more effectively, specifically for them. And that's just because I want the world to know this and I care and I want to help. And all of that's available at danielpackard.com.
Oh, thank you, Daniel. No, you'll be hearing from me soon. Oh my God, this was really good. Just what I needed right now today. And I really appreciate you being here with me. And, oh my God, guys. All right. Thanks for listening to Postcards to the Universe with Melissa, creating the life you crave. And I'm wishing everyone a wonderful week filled with joy, abundance, and love. Peace.